Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we're looking at example 2 from page 7 of the booklet. It says, for each situation below, determine the unknown angle and state the property that can be used to find it. So it's similar to what we were doing before, but now we just have to actually state the property. So the first thing I can find A or B first, it doesn't make a difference. Angle A with reference to 108 are called alternate interior angles, which they are equal. Alternate interior angles are equal. So we know that this is equal to 108. All right, and this is using the alternate interior angle. Okay, are equal, right? So we know that obviously this goes with the thing. And angle B, we can use the that's also 108, and the reason that's also 108 is transverse angles are equal. Okay, you don't need to put the are equal in, obviously, there because you said they were equal, but those are the two properties. And again, they can be found on the first couple of pages. Alternate interior angles are equal, and transverse angles are equal. Okay, on the opposite side. And list what they are. So that's all we're doing here. That's the only difference in the exercise listing where we get that. So in the second situation, we're looking for angle CD and E. So we can find them, again, there's no order. I'll just do them in alphabetical order if I can. C and D. So C and D are called co-interior angles, and they add up to 180. So I take the 180 and subtract 75, and that would give me the 105. Okay? Next we have is angle D. And angle D we can use with, I'll use with 75. I recommend using with the angle that was given, if you can. Again, because if you made a mistake with the 105, but sometimes you won't be able to, but in this case, we're able to use 75 for every reference. So I'm referring to 75 each time. So 75 and D are called corresponding angles, and corresponding angles are equal. Okay? So corresponding angles are equal. That's the property. Okay? And 75 and E are supplementary angles. So that would be equal to 105. And supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees. Okay? And that's it again. All of these properties I'm using with reference to 75 degrees. Okay? So everything is with respect to the given angle, and that's normally what you do if you can. Okay? Next, what we're looking for are angles F, G, and H. So again, you can do these probably with respect to the 138, and that's what you should do. So that's what I'm going to do here. So angles 138 and F, they are equal, and the reason they are equal, again, with respect to the 138, they are corresponding angles. Okay. Next, we have G with respect to 138. So that G is also equal to 138 degrees, and the reason for that is transverse angles are equal. So the next one we have for H, we know that H has some properties, but I don't think you can go directly to 138. So what we'll do is we're going to use angle G or F to decide. So we know that G and F are both 138. So we know that H is going to be, a lot of you know that the answer for H is going to be 42 degrees. Because, well, there's a couple of reasons. So you could use co-interior angles, add up to 180. So G and H would have to add up to 180. Or you can use H and F are supplementary angles. They also add up to 180. Either one is fine. All right, right? So I'm going to use supplementary angles add up to 180. And those supplementary angles are angle G plus angle H equal 180 degrees. Okay? So just a little in brackets there, because I use the supplementary angle there to get H, right? There's no direct 138 to H. Now some people would say, I just know it's 142 and that's great, but that's just some of the reasoning there. Okay? So I'll just be mindful of that. I'm going to put that in brackets. All right. Next we have, and you look at this diagram, it shows two sets of parallel lines. So if we pick the ones going from down and to the right, we can use those as transversals, or vice versa, of course. But either way, there's two sets of parallels here. Okay, so there can be lots of different interesting things happening here. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is I'll find C with respect to 138, and these are what are called alternate interior angles, and we know alternate interior angles are equal, so that's equal to 138. So alternate interior angles are equal. Okay. Next, what we can do here to get some of the angles are, I can use C as one from 138. All right, so C and E would be called corresponding angles. All right, so E would also equal 138, and that's what corresponding angles are equal. So E is equal to C. Angle C is equal to angle E, or angle E is equal to angle C. And I usually like to mention this when I'm referring to something other than the given 138. Okay? Just be mindful of that. All right? And then D is also 138. Okay? And again, there's a couple different properties you can use here. But again, if you're looking for D with respect to E, I'm just going to use different ones. So transverse angles are equal, right? Transverse angles are equal. And of course, in this case, I used that angle D was equal to angle E, right? That was the transverse angles. And the last one there, F and E are equal. Oh, sorry, F and E equal to, add up to 180, so that would be 42 degrees. Okay. All right. And E and F are called co-interior angles add up to 180. Right? Co-interior angles add up to 180. And those co-interior angles are angle F, angle F plus angle E is equal to 180 degrees. So that's where that property comes from. Okay? So you just have to be careful. Now again, if I don't have why they're equal here, because we're referring to the 138, so it's said to be. But if you're not referring to the 138 or the given angle, then that is how you want to approach that question. Okay? Next, we have GHIJKL. GHIJKL. So here we have GHIJKL, what we're looking for. We know 98. Now again, we have two transversals here that are parallel going through these three sets of lines that are parallel. So G is equal to 98 degrees, and the reason we know that's equal to 98 degrees because transverse angles are equal. So I don't have to put the angle that's equal to the angle because it's given. Again, that's how I show these. So angle K was equal to 82 degrees because co-interior angles add up to 180. 98 and K are co-interior angles. All right. So 180 subtract 98 would be 82. All right. 98 and J are going to be equal. And the reason they're equal is alternate interior angles. So alternate interior angles are equal. We can find that using that. We can also get I. 98 and I are corresponding angles. So that would also be 98 because of the corresponding angles are equal. Now again, you'll notice that I'm referring to 98 every time I can. Now with L and 98, these are what are called, there's no relation because they're on two different transversals, but we can use reference to other angles as necessary. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at L and J are equal, right? So L is going to equal 98 degrees. And the reason that is equal to 98 degrees, J and L, because they are corresponding angles are equal. So I'm going to use the fact that angle L is equal to angle J, right? Because we use J. Now remember, I don't do this all the time, because if I'm referring back to the 98 degrees it's given, that's a given angle, right? So we can say given angle, right? Behind it if you want. And we'll talk about that when we get there. And angle H is equal to angle L, so that's also 98 degrees. And the reason angle H is equal to angle L, transverse angles are equal. All right? But we have to give a description of why that's the case. Okay? So we say that angle H is equal to angle L, and again, that was because transverse angles are equal. These are transverse angles. Okay? The rest I don't give the brackets because, like I mentioned before, we used 98 to give an angle. So you bracket, you would just put given angle. Okay? All right? So you can say given angle. But that's said to be there for me. You don't need to put that every time, but that's the case. It's because of the given angle. Okay? Everything was referring back to the given angle. So that's it for example 2. In the next video, we'll look at example 3, determining parallel lines and whether or not they're parallel. All right? So thanks everybody for watching, and we'll talk again soon in the next video.